Hello everybody and welcome back to Season 38 of the Pokemon Cup Series. Today we're here at Darlington Raceway for the running of the Bojangles Southern 500. It is the annual retro race here in the Pokemon Cup Series, and every driver has a retro paint scheme on their own. So we'll go through one by one this time. On the pole for the race will be the 66 of Christian Vargas, a paint scheme honoring the late NASCAR artist Sam Bass. On his outside will be the 43 of Matthew Emdev with a classic 80s style Petty STP paint scheme in his hood today. In row 2 we have the 10 of Sharona Evans, modeling one of her cars after Tony Stewart's old ride in the 2000s. And Nathan Alvarez in 36 with a Joker paint, with a Riddler paint scheme. It was the best I could find for this team. Row 3 we have the 21 of Kermika Jazin, who models her car after the early 2000s car for the Wood Brothers. And the 52 of Edith Cardoza. I really couldn't find a retro paint scheme for the team, so I had to settle with the black sponsorless car. And then we have the 11 of Toby Smith, who won last weekend in Kentucky. He was on a tear. Three wins this season, and 2 of them coming from the previous 2 races. And his paint scheme is modeled after Darrell Waltrip's paint scheme in the 80s. Alongside him will be the 31 of Wyatt Quayle in a retro color design based on RCR's team back in the 60s and 70s. Then we have Brad Cheston in the 22 with the old Pennzoil design, modeling after the 2000s Indy cars from the Pennzoil team. And the 9 car of Chase Wisted, modeling after Chase Elliott's cousin, Case. I'm sorry about that. I apologize if I get this wrong, but Casey Elliott's paint scheme from back in his racing days, the 9 car modeled after. And then we got Derek Hamill in the 32 car with the old Go Fast design with the red and white colors in Can-Am. And Alex Hawkins is in the 1 car with his paint scheme modeled after Cale Yarborough's design in the 70s. Philip Goldberg in the 47 today with a retro paint scheme from the 2000s of the JTG Daughtry days. And the 14 of Justin Zeidel, modeled after Tony Stewart's ride when he owned Stewart Haas Racing and drove for the team. Austin Sitzer running the 42, modeling after the old Texaco cars for Chip Ganassi, with the black designs. This time the Home Depot's on the front of their cars today. And the 00 Lauren Martinez, modeling her paint scheme after Bobby Labonte's old design in the 2000s for Joe Gibbs. Steve Morgan running the 13 car with his design modeled after Tiny Loon's paint scheme, I believe. And the 41 Priya McShane modeling her paint scheme after Tony Stewart's design with Joe Gibbs in the 2000s. Maxwell Smart in the 20 car, modeling his design after Matt Kenseth's paint scheme with Roush in the 2000s. And Cassidy Reynolds running the 6 car, modeling after Mark Martin's paint scheme with the colors and the design. Oscar Mayer on the front. Cody Smart in the 2 car, modeling his paint scheme after Rusty Wallace's ride with Penske in 2000s. And the 3 car Chen Z, riding with Cabela's in the front and modeling his paint scheme after the 70s design with Dale Earnhardt as the driver. 96 Alexander Rowe, modeling his paint scheme after the Harry Gant paint scheme with SoCal as its sponsor in the 70s and 80s. And the 8 car Cassandra Kirker, modeling her paint scheme after the Stavola brothers ride of the 80s in the 8 car. Then we have Zachary Fitzwater in the 4, modeling his paint scheme after Morgan McClure Motorsports' design. And the 95 Cullen Francis, modeling his design after the paint scheme from Everham Motorsports with Bill Elliott and Casey Kane. The 37 Anthony then with a classic paint scheme, forgot where this was from, but it's an old one from like the 50s and 60s, I believe, a 60s, 50s driver. I don't remember who it was, but Anthony then running that paint scheme. And Mark Wallace bringing back the Rainbow Warrior design from the 90s of Hedrick Cars and Jeff Gordon for tonight's race. Nicky Maxwell, the 19 car with a black design that was modeled after the Furniture Row Racing days of old. And the 17 Jonathan Fast with his own rendition of Darrell Waltrip's paint scheme in the 80s. Anthony Lopez, the 77, modeling his paint scheme after Brendan Gaughan's ride from 2004 with the Penske team. And the 38 Eli Bryant with the MDS design that was modeled after, I believe, the Busch Series' 2000 car with Atkins Motorsports. If I got this wrong, let me know in the comments below. We have Pichu in the 97 modeling his old paint scheme after Kurt Busch's ride in the 2000s with Roush. And that's 15 event Tracy Battle, who is being renumbered as 16 for today's race. That way we can use the Greg Biffle design for today for the Darlington race itself. 51 Daniel Price, again couldn't find a retro paint scheme for this team, so I had to use Castrol GTX and its closest to retro design for this race. And Jackson Natal in the 88 car, modeling his design after Tim Richmond's ride in the 80s with Hendrick. Giovanni Castillo running the 18, modeling his design after the Ken Schrader car from Roush Yates Racing in the 90s and 2000s, the 18, and Ernie Irvin's design part of it as well. And the 12 car Johnny Garter modeling his design after the 60s cars that Penske raced with. And finally on the last row, Kayvon Lewis, the 48, modeling his design after Jimmy Johnson's rookie paint scheme in 2001. And Zachary DeLello, the 34, no sponsor on the car, but the paint scheme was modeled after the late 2000s scheme from Front Row Motorsports. That's all the schemes here in tonight's race. Let's take you to the command. Sure going to be a fun night tonight. A lot of drivers are going to be earning their Darlington stripe for sure. We might see a lot of wrecks here and there, but it's nice enough to see the paint schemes, retro paint schemes here, all for tonight's race, even if they're going to be wrecked out anyway in a handful of laps, if not earlier. But anyway, 34 laps will be running under the lights at Darlington. It's going to be a fun race here at the track, Too Tough to Tame. And Christian Vargas is going to lead the field to the green. And you'll see most of these retro paint schemes back again at North Wilkesboro later this season. Anyway, green flag is back out. We're underway in the Southern 500. Here comes Alvarez, and we already have a caution on the very first lap of the race. Didn't take that long. Jonathan Fast got turned around on the first lap. Oh, another wreck in front of them. We'll look back at that later, but here's Jonathan Fast getting turned on that corner. And here's the wreck, and here's the wreck, and here's the bigger wreck. I believe Alex Hawkins was involved. Yeah, somewhat. Brad Cheston was the one that got turned up on the wall. Right here in the wall, and he smacks it, and Hawkins gets caught in the middle, goes for a spin, and cars are being held up. And that's what brought the caution out for the first time today. Oh, they're earning their Darlington stripe now. Things are going to get intense now. And Alvarez just took the lead. Another crash, an even bigger one out of the turn 4. Oh my gosh. Oh, 13 is hit. Cars are being hit as well, and another big crash in front of them. Oh, Zach Fitzwater went around. Right here, he was trying to get back into the to the track, and then Anthony then just hits him from behind for no apparent reason. I'm not sure why. Why did the 37 hit him from behind? That was very unusual. And he went upside down. What in the world was that? But anyway, run a caution, and already a handful of cars have wrecked out. They don't call this track Too Tough to Tame for nothing. Oh man, 28 cars left on track. We're going back to the green. Well, look at that. Chen Z nearly got turned. Saw Chen Z went down on the apron. Now he's fighting back. And they're hitting the wall again. Oh man, Mark Wallace really very slow but he's able to continue. And Christian Vargas has taken the lead again. Here comes MDev. And just about every driver left is going to have a Darlington stripe on the side of their cars. Very tough track here, tougher than it looks. And MDev takes the lead. Here comes Alvarez in the second spot, trying to get a run off the 66. And here comes MDev, and he's pulled away. Cardoza down low on the bottom. 52 looking for another chance at that lead. And the 43 has pulled away, and now the 47 of Goldberg is in the wall. Trying to avoid getting hit, and somehow he does. It's going to be a long night for some of these drivers. And the 66 of Vargas into third spot. Oh, Cardoza nearly got on the wall there. Had to really ease up on the gas a bit. So far, these guys are avoiding the wall at all cost. Gonna be tough here, and now Wyatt Quayle goes up into the wall, and he's gonna lose a lot of time. Look at that 47 come right after him, and all these guys are coming after him too. Hamill passes him, and here comes Van Tracy Battle. As I mentioned earlier, usually the 15 team is going to be running the 16 for this race, and I believe North Wilkesboro as well. But they will still get points for the 15 team, even if they change numbers for 2 races at least. That is Van Tracy Battle in that car. And Wyatt Quayle just can't stay out of the wall. And he has dropped back a lot, and he just can't stay out of that wall. So far, it's been about that Matthew MDev in that 43 car. Running the Petty design, by the way, the old Richard Petty design. And he's hoping to take it to victory lane. Boy, wouldn't that be fun to see the 43 win here in the Southern 500 again. And we have a caution. And Pichu just went around. Let's see what happened with Pichu. Oh, wow. He was trying to block Alexander. Oh, no. Alexander Rowe got into him. Yeah, second time we've seen something like that happen tonight. Alexander Rowe gets into Pichu for no apparent reason, and Johnny Gardner was hit, and he's up in smoke. Big smoke out of the 12, and a caution's out. And we'll see what happens under caution. We'll see if they'll take pit stops, and right here, right now, they're going to pit. Leaders come down pit road. Wow, that 21 was really going fast for whatever reason. 51 stays out. Daniel Price stays out. And I believe Mark Wallace is going to pit, so Daniel Price is the only driver to stay out. That's pretty impressive. He is going all at it. He wants to win this thing, man. With a very damaged car, he hopes to win this thing. Now let's see what happens on pit road here. Oh, a lot of debris in the back there. A lot of commotion. So let's see who comes out of pit road first. Might be a tight battle exiting pit road right here. Looks like coming out first is going to be the 43 of Matthew MDev. And Alvarez is going to fall behind him. Ooh, Christian Vargas was held up there. Lost a couple positions. And 96 just came into the track. More cars coming out. 31 and 21 having problems on pit road, unfortunately, and now they've just came out of pit road. So everybody else is out. We saw one car out of it, and Daniel Price, he won't be able to make it. So I guess Price did not want to be lapped at that point, so that's why he stayed out. 26 cars left on track, and Price is going to be down a lap anyway, so not sure why he stayed out a lap later than the other drivers. 25 cars are left on track, and we're going to have Matthew MDev leading the race, and we're back to green. Halfway point will be after lap 17, so big stage points and a playoff point. The stage winner is going to be awarded at the halfway point. We only got two. After this, there's only 2 races in the regular season. Both are going to be outside the U.S. We're going to have Coulter Park, and then it'll be followed by Twin Ring Montague. That's where the regular season will come to an end. And we have just about the halfway point here. MDev is trying to hang on to that lead. Look at Edith Cardoza trying to nudge the 6 out, but look at that 9-car Chase Wested. Not wasting any time. He's trying to get that pass. Can't quite get there. Stitzel trying to shake him out too. 42 is going to try now on the bottom lane. Here he comes. Ooh, cars are getting loose behind him. Uh-oh. Here we go. 42 going to try to get by him in the 9 car. That 9 car better avoid that wall. And Cassidy Reynolds, she's looking to get the 2nd spot. Oh, she's looking low, but she just can't quite make the move. Here comes Alvarez. He might have a run here on the corner. He might take the lead. MDev's so strong, but the 36 even stronger. And here he comes. Nathan Alvarez has got the lead. Cassandra Kirker behind him. And here comes Edith Cardoza. Oh, 43's up in the wall now. Now he's in trouble. He's up in the wall. And so is a 37. He's lost a lot of positions. A great day gone to waste here for the 43. Went up in the wall. Slows down. And now he's just trying to fight back. Oh my goodness. Oh, what a turn of events for Matthew MDev. Couldn't stay out of the Darlington wall. And loses a lot of positions. "14 laps to go. Nathan Alvarez is your leader. Behind him is Cassidy Reynolds. Look at Chen Z. Oh, on the bumper, that 52. Ooh, nearly turned around the 52. And he still got the pass. Wow. He just bumped and... I think he might have done the bump and run. That is an impressive move by that 3 car to get the 3rd spot. Just in time because the caution is out. Wyatt Quayle, I believe, was the one that brought out the yellow. And indeed he did. Right here. Slowed... look at that. Steve Moore... He got right into Steve Morgan and Derek Hamill and he went around. Not sure why these cars were slower than that 31, and he just didn't get them out of the way, but it's going to bring out another caution. And now, just a handful of laps remain. It's going to be very big. This restart's going to be huge. Quayle's going to start in front of the leaders, so this is going to be interesting. 9 laps to go, and Quayle's going to start in front of the lead pack. This is going to be fun. Here we go. 10 to go. No, wait, 9 to go, I should say. 9 laps to go at Darlington. We're going back to the green. Look at Chen Z wasting no time. He's going on that bottom for 2nd place. Hoping that 36 is held up by that 31. It might be. Might have a chance here. Side by side. Look at Stitzel going low. Trying to bump in. Trying to push the 3 into the front. And the 3 cars out in front. It looks like the 31's going to let loose a bit. He's going to let his teammate take the clean air. So, wow, this must be a strategy for the teammates of the RCR crew. Quayle, of course, no contention to win this race, but he's holding up the pack behind him. Oh, he's holding up too good, and Hawkins just went around. Now there's a crash. Ooh, a hard hit on Jazin. And we'll bring in another caution. 7 laps to go. Chen Z just took the lead. I'm sorry, Chen Z had the lead before. Huh, okay. 7 to go under caution. Chen Z's out in front. Will he hold on for the win? Handful of cars are out. 16 cars are back on the track. 3 to go to the green. Next caution will bring overtime if we don't get the white. Austin Stitzel, Chen Z, Christian Vargas. They all could win. Who's going to come out on top? 2 laps to go. Chen Zi hoping to get his first career win tonight. Hoping to bring that car number 3 to victory lane here in Darlington. Austin Sitzel right behind him. Christian Vargas also trying to loosen up the 2 cars in front of him. Coming to the white flag with 1 lap to go. No caution. This will be the race. This is going to be the race that decides it. White flag is out. This is for the win. Chen Zi trying to hang on for his first career win. And he's got a little bit of room against Stitzel. And Austin Stitzel has one more chance to get him on this corner right here. Down the final turn. Looks like these guys won't be able to catch the 3. And Chen Zi is going to come off the final turn. And he'll take the checkers in the Southern 500 at Darlington. Chen Zi brings the number 3 car back to victory lane at the track Too Tough to Tame. What a way to get your first win here at Darlington Raceway. A very tough track, but he was able to overcome the Darlington stripe and collect the win. Must be a very special win for that team, bringing that 3 car to victory lane here at Darlington Raceway. And here are the results on the screen. And our next race, we'll see you guys next time at Calder Park Raceway in Australia. Just 2 races left in the regular season. It's going to get intense from here. Chen Zi, your winner at Darlington, and we will see you guys next time.